I've been trying to tell y'all, men practice.
Okay, because over the last 2 years, I have been consistently telling you guys all the ways in which the male harvests the woman's feminine energy for his own personal selfish edification, usually for his ego needs. And one of the ways that I've given you guys an example of that is through struggle love. Because with struggle love, really what happens is, under normal circumstances, when a man approaches a woman, he approaches a woman ready to provide, right? Ready to give her provisions and so forth. Now, regardless of the circumstance, deep down, every man knows that he should not be approaching a woman empty-handed. But because of the fact of the Black community constantly always being in such a crisis mode, a lot of our philosophy has been revamped to address the crisis mode. But we don't realize how we get tricked out of our inheritance by always responding in ways that align with struggle and dysfunction. So what ends up happening is the men who feel rejected by life, who are not happy with themselves, they go for women who have a lot of internal virtue, right? Now, if you understood male nature, you would understand that men are more carnal. So they're going to go for what is mostly pleasing to the eye, what is going to give them the most clout, what is going to serve whatever their power or ego needs are in most cases. If a man is going to a woman who is more so, he's going to her for the reason of virtue and character, it is usually because he's in some sort of internal struggle, or he is stuck somewhere in life. He's feeling lonely, he's feeling rejected, and having a woman in his life gratifies him. But not only that, that same woman is going to take that man who is arrested in his development or stalled in his career, and she's going to pour into him. When she pours into him, because he is in a state of duress, he cannot equally give back to that woman what he is actually siphoning from her. This is why you hear all of those stories a million times. Oh, I just want to thank my wife. She stuck with me through thick and thin. She stuck with me through cheating, through abuse. And it's like, God damn. It's like she had to go through like a whole humiliation ritual for you to acknowledge her humanity. That is energy harvesting. So they're drawing from that woman's energy because they feel rejected in life. And unfortunately, what happens to a lot of women who sign up for struggle love is they become a casualty in that man's internal warfare. This is why it is dangerous for women to sign up from that, because they get drained from these situations. And once you are drained, and if the man is up, he not going to stick around to heal you, because he came to you for healing, right? Now, I know you guys see Jay-Z and Beyonce on here. Another TikToker made a really great point when she pointed out that Jay-Z would not be able to get into the rooms and the places and the spaces he is in now if he did not marry Beyonce. The shelf life of a rapper and a career, it has a ceiling and it has a shelf life. She is a major reason why he is on the way that he is on. And she also pointed out that Jay-Z thought that he was going to get a transfer of power from Matthew Knowles, which was her father and her manager at one time, to him. And because he thought he was going to get that transference of power, and he saw through the album with Lemonade that she could take his infidelities and his attempts to humble her and still make bank. To this day, I believe Lemonade is one of the best albums that Beyonce has ever dropped. I know you know these guys. What Diddy was doing to this woman, because as you know, and as we all have been made aware of, is that he does not have a preference that is limited to the female, to the opposite sex. So he took this woman's energy from her for a whole decade. Okay. He kept her as a Smex slave. Okay. He used her body. He made her a servant. I mean, I know you guys saw the interview when Young Jock was saying Puffy just came up to her and said, shave the side of your head. And she was like, okay, well, whatever Sean wants, that's what I'm going to do. And so low key, he looking at her like she had been taken over. Now, right here is how they are harvesting your energy. How a lot of women are drained to a point where they become more robotic and harsher in nature. And they are doing that through sexual intercourse. The incubus spirit is one of the spirits that are attaching to these women that these men are drawing energy from to improve the quality of their lives. Okay, you want to pause to read this, but really quickly, the incubus syndrome is a psychopathological disorder in which a person, especially a female, has a strong delusion that they have been sexually approached at night by a demon, y'all. A demon. It's a concept in Western culture. It's a spiritual concept. So of course they're going to call it a delusion, but 9 times out of 10, yes. When you go to sleep and somebody is actually like, have you ever had a dream where a spirit is having astral relations with you, astral intimacy with you, and you wake up and it feel like somebody really did have astral relations with you? A lot of times it be those soul ties that you've made with those males, and that spirit, that energy is coming to, basically stake claim. That is why back in the day, the ancestors did a ritual when it came to intercourse called unking. And unking has to do with moving the energy from the base of your spine all the way up through your crown chakra. It was believed in ancient Egypt or Kemet that the orgasm was the key to eternal life, and that it was intimately connected with the chakra system. A chakra is an energy vortex that is connected to the entire human energy field, which is your aura. Okay. So if you understand what's happening, these males can spiritually bind with you and live off your energy well after the relationship is over. That is why if you get with one dusty and they siphon, they leave a package with you, baby. And that's the incubus spirit, right? And then what happens is you start to continuously attract dusties and you don't know why. You got to cut those soul ties. You got to break those contracts. And it could get really deep, especially when you have been victimized or traumatized sexually. Bear in mind, these men unconsciously, they're not even aware of it. They are unconsciously siphoning your energy. And every day that we as women start to pull back our energy and we start to covet our energy, they are constantly trying to convince us to give that energy up. But are they trying to convince us to give that energy up through making us happy? No, it's through fear, through control, through manipulation, right? It tells you everything you need to know. The presentation, if it wasn't a hostile environment, they wouldn't use hostile tactics to break women down so that they will be more receptive to male energy that they don't feel is in their best interest.